We are finally outside. Sorry guys, spending most of the day inside looking after the baby. So right now, taking off these terminals, and then we're going to see if this new battery, I'm not too sure if it's a new battery, but see if this battery has enough juice to get the car started. Whilst I'm here, I may as well check it out and see if it has charged. Battery is relatively somewhat full, but we're now one of these guys, so we're gonna test it out and see if it has charge, enough charge. So turning it on, we have 14 volts, so makes things nice and easy, I guess. All right, let's go. Terminals on this car is back to front, so that makes things a little bit not ideal, but we do hear noises coming from the car, so that's a good sign. Alright, so obviously no lights on the dash, no fuel pump, no nothing. So that's that problem. So I'm pretty sure my friend was well aware that probably there's an issue with the main relay, just because we're not getting electricity inside the car. So he's been good enough to supply one in advance. So let's get that in the car. So main relay replaced, still not fixing the issue. I'm just going to swap the ignition fuse around. It lights up, but still I don't know what the issue is. So and hopefully we can figure it out for my friend, because otherwise we've got the car towed all the way here for no reason, and we don't want that. So replace the main fuse, replace the ignition fuse inside the engine bay, and we still have nothing whatsoever. Like, look, nothing even turns on, nothing primes, I can hear nothing. So we'll slowly go through this. Very possible the main relay is still a problem, and I've got the EG, my EG over there, that I can probably try to replace it with, but we're going to try a number of things, see if we can get this started. Like I said, baby steps. If we can start to move forward, that'd be a good thing. It seems to make a noise when I press the horn. Like a noise like the battery's dead. So that's very possible. Let's just chuck it on the charger. The dash lights are back on, and it wants to crank, so just the battery, which is strange because when we tested on the voltmeter, multimeter, it said 14 volts, so clearly I don't know how to use the multimeter. Alright, so we've got it on charge now, horn works, but it's still saying it's full, so I think this battery's cactus as well. Alright, so that started. It's just a small update. We've managed to pull that frame slightly out. It's still bent, but now it makes sense why we have those things, because if I didn't have that, then most likely I would have really damaged my rear axle. So now we know. Possibly with the car, we've got basically we've got an ignition, but what I haven't been able to hear is the fuel pump. So once the battery charges up, I'll give it another go. It's going to take a while to charge up, but give that a go and then see if the fuel pump turns on. If not, then we'll check the actual fuel pump itself, and then if not, we'll pull it apart and see if we've put the multimeter on it and see if there's actually a circuit, and then if there's a circuit, then we know that the problem lies somewhere else. We're currently in the back of the car. We're just testing to see we have any power coming from these plugs. I have no idea. I have no idea how to use this. Like, I normally would just use a voltmeter, a test light. Oh well, that's embarrassing. Alright, so we've confirmed that the fuel pump is dead because when we connected our multimeter to it and primed the car, we got a signal of 11 volts, 11.2 something volts shooting to the fuel pump, and that indicates to us that fuel pump's dead. Alright, we are starting it in 3, 2, 1. There you go. So, he needs a new fuel pump. Me solving problems with the multimeter makes things so much easier. Don't know why I didn't get one earlier. I think because of the switches, it kind of put me off. I was like, I clearly don't know how to use this. And Limbear's home, so I'm going back inside. And sir, you need a new fuel pump. I think that's probably the longest period that I've been away from the camera. But after spending time with family, friends, whatnot, long weekend in Victoria, it's good to be back. So what we're doing today is we're going to pick up the project again on the DC2, the AU, the Australian delivered model. So this one here. So we've just received the fuel pump, so that's what we'll be doing now, is installing the fuel pump and seeing if that fixes our original problem of the car not starting. So I think we have Ray, the owner of the car, coming by today as well, and it should be quite interesting to see him, for just because I haven't seen him in a really long time, but also just so he can see what's the progress with the car. I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with how to remove a fuel pump, but I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm trying to figure it out as I go as well. So basically, what I've done is I've just pretty much pushed that clip in, pulled that hose off, used some pliers just to wiggle this one off, because for this pump, it hasn't been moved in a really long time, or ever, it's safe to say. So I'm just going through it and seeing what we can do. From memory, we've got to wiggle it out because it sits off center. This one in particular is not coming out at all. Ooh, and it's completely rusted. Hopefully don't get any fuel in the car. Ooh, the fuel is filthy. So probably that it wasn't going to start like that either. But we couldn't even get the car to crank, so I'm going to have to wipe all this up and get a rag. Can't be done with one hand. But I think this filter's seen better days. Look at that. 13 years of sitting there. So I think it's always a good thing, especially knowing me, to double check that the new fuel pump that we have is the actually right one to replace this unit. So let me just check the basics. Yeah, the plugs, everything seems similar. Yeah, everything looks good. So I'm just gonna clean up the old bracket, remove it, and then scrub it down, probably give it a good quick coat of paint, and we should be able to say it's pretty good. So leave this with me. I'm going to strip this down and see what else we find. So comparing the two pumps, this one is the OEM one, and it's got a safety pin that keeps everything intact. However, this one doesn't. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to break that crap off, and then maybe this bag doesn't look as great and small. Maybe I'll just clean up this bag and reuse that one, because I'm not too sure about this one. So yeah, I think this one's just gonna fall apart and break internally, because this one's just basically the bag itself. So as long as it stops all the gunk going into the fuel pump, I think we should be good. So maybe I'll reuse this one. So whilst trying to take this crusty thing off, it's a bit dark, turn it around. So whilst I was trying to take this bloody hose off, I've come to realize I hate taking off crusty things. So that's finally disassembled. Now I'm gonna give that a good clean, good wash, scrub down, and some paint. So just stop it from this happening again. So alright, let's get to it. Alright, let's just try to see if we can transform this to something nicer. Slowly it's coming out. So if anyone ever plans on doing this, I just remembered, you just leave this in a, basically leave the actual whole thing inside a bucket full of vinegar, white vinegar, and next morning all that stuff will come off. So vinegar gets rid of rust, FYI. But today we don't have that luxury of spending a whole day just waiting for it to set on vinegar. So I'm just doing the good old fashioned method of just scrubbing it, and we're just scrubbing what we can get. And obviously we'll try to do it as much as possible, but that's pretty much where we're going to leave it. So I'm up to here so far. It's a little bit harder to get up to that tight section up there. So I'm just going to continue cracking away, and if we get to it, if we can get it, we can get it. Otherwise, sorry Ray. And I think that's that. That's basically it. It's not perfect, but it'll do. I think it'll do. I attempted to remove this bolt before, and I didn't try too hard, but I just gave it a crack. And then just after cleaning it, I decided to have a look at it. No way was that coming out. So that's staying in there. Why do people do that? Yeah, I'm going to give this a quick paint job. I'm going to mask up whatever I can, but mostly I'm just going to send it. I wonder why. Or maybe I could just spray inox on it, and then that way it should protect it from rust. I managed to get some primer on that. I'll show you later. I think I'm going to go with a silver finish, because I have engine silver. Or I could just leave it in primer. What do you guys think? Leave it in engine silver? Or should I paint it in that heat resistant? Don't think it's going to be heat resistant. Don't need that stuff. But I do have leftover paint, so engine silver it is. This is when I used to paint my blocks, engine blocks and stuff like that. I get the hype, but I'm just over that life. I just can't be bothered anymore. This is how it looks. All in all, not too bad. I made sure not to paint everything, because, like I said, it's just this area that we're trying to treat. So I'll just move that out of the way and just paint the rest of it. So give me a sec.
Not much. I was saying, what's going on with this thing?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna sell it.
Sell it? What? Sell it? Or just pop a motor in it and sell it, or just sell it as it is?
Sell it as it is.
Yeah.
Because
What do you want for it?
I don't know. Why would you buy it?
No, I'm just asking because I'll just see.
Look, I don't know. Just find out what the market price is and then get rid of it. I want to keep it, but then I don't. it's just the bottom end bearing, and I was just like, oh, maybe I can do it myself or something. I'm like, but I got no time. I've got no time.
Yeah. You still got the paint, or you guys still doing the body work or not? Nah.
Yeah, I'm still just doing painting and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
I'm not
painting
doing
stuff,
much.
yeah.
Like I said, like if you
Yeah.
got a bumper or something like that, side skirts
Yeah.
or something, I can help you out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But either way, I got to bring my Integra down for you to see. So
Yeah. Alright, done.
I'll catch up
No
with
worries.
you really soon.
Alright, done. Yeah, I
Alright.
just got back, so whenever. Yeah.
How long were you gone?
Done. 8 months now.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Alright, everything's good?
Yeah, all good, bro.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's it then.
Yeah.
I'll catch up with you soon then.
Done.
Alright, no, it's bye.
Alright, catch up. Bye.
So that was my other friend, Henry. Another Henry. And he's been holding on to my four-wheel drive for a really long time because, as you guys heard, the bottom end bearing went. And it makes no sense because there was oil in the car and I serviced it previously, and it must have been one of those things where it's just like, see you later. And I have spent a lot of money on this car. Relatively quite sentimental to me. It's been in my family this whole entire time since it's brand new, and I think it's just time to let it go. I'm not too sure. And my baby's crying, so I got to tend to that. But the fuel pump is all set and ready to go. Nice and relatively quite clean. So like I said, we'll just slap that in and Bob's your uncle. So just a PSA, whenever you're working on the fuel pump, open up the other doors, open up the boot or something, because it gets really fumey. But if you're that type of person that likes that type of stuff, then close up all your doors and you're in for a good time. So all right, let's put this in and let's see how we go. Make sure everything's there. Everything goes in. So relatively everything goes back in with. Should probably put it on the pump while I'm putting it in. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been on the camera. So basically, just wiggle everything in there. And it should sit relatively like that. And then we'll plug everything in and hopefully it works. So just give me a second and we'll go wablamo and it'll be finished. Wablamo. Anyways, that's all done. Alright, let's see if it turns. I've got to put the battery in the car first. So after putting the battery in the car, we'll figure out whether or not it's worked or not. So be right back. So we can't test it because I left my battery charger in the car. I left it outside under the car. I left it pretty much under the car and it stopped working. So that's my fault, but I think we have a jumper pack, so that should be able to work. So let me see what we can do. All right, moment of truth. Ready? Let's see. I'm not too sure if you guys could hear that, but I could. Ooh, wants to start. Runs like crap. But it just means that we have to change the spark plugs. Obviously, drain the oil, give it a full flush of all fluids, and should be hunky-dory. But like I said, new fuel would be an absolute must on this car. So once Ray gets here, we'll probably get a bottle or something. We'll figure out something for us to get it moving. And I'm sitting on something wet. So it's got filters and whatnot there for me. So I'll get that cracking on that. But yeah, I tried to block out all the noise and whatnot, but baby is crying. There she is, rolling around, making noise, making everything super hard. She's supposed to be sleeping for 2 hours. She slept for like an hour. So Alright, baby duties. Later, guys. Have you guys seen my new keychain? I had a little Hot Wheels car. My kids already opened the box and whatnot, so keep it in mint condition. There's no point, because I do like playing around with cars. So I decided, hey, why not be a great idea to drill a hole into the rear quarter of the Hot Wheel and then make it a keyring. So that's what I did. Initially I was going to do it into underneath the spoiler, and initially it did fit, but the problem was I was worried that it'd snap. And like I said, especially these areas of the car is prone to snapping. There's not much metal there, so like I said, rear quarter panel where the antenna would naturally sit, and slapped it on. So my Integra now has an Integra keychain. So I'm just getting things ready for Ray to work on his car. He's coming over in a bit, but just in case I don't catch him, he'll know where everything is. So I've put out the jack and whatnot, and he'll have full access to the garage and whatnot, so it should be okay. But like I said, B18C7, I reckon maybe I can convince him to give this a good lick of paint. We'll do a wrinkle red or wrinkle black or something like that, just to make it really pop. But engine bay definitely needs some love. But engine starts, like I said, I told him to run the car for a bit and then drain the oil after that, so that way it removes any of the debris that's currently been sitting in the car. And the interior needs some love as well, so that's all got to be put back in place. The screws and everything are in there, but like I said, I will only be gone for a little bit, and then we should be able to tee this up again. Man himself, Ray. Also, let's go to JDM front DC2. Look at that. It's seen better days, but he's had this for so long. So Ray, car's in safe hands because that's Ray's car. Ray's a bit of a Honda Integra hoarder, so he's doing his thing. And like I said, you'll eventually learn about his story, but super interesting. But fingers crossed that everything goes well for his car, and I'll be back in a jiffy. I found it. It's here. This is where it's moving from. So either the cluster or something's vibrating against something around here. So that's one of the noises that I have to get. So good news, guys, I am not dying yet. Anyway, so we've bought us some time, so we've got another 3 months, so let's make the most of it. And then hopefully when all the drama strikes, it won't be too bad. So the main problem is my heart just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. And everyone says they have a big heart and stuff like that, but I actually have a big heart. And unfortunately, having a big heart in real life is not a good thing. So we're just trying to stay on top of it, regular checkups and whatnot, in and out of the hospital. That's my life. So let's give Ray a flyby. Wait. We're currently just taking it off the filter. Alright. 15-year-old filter or something like that. And it's gonna slap the other one on. Here you go. Do you need a rag? I got a rag. Rag. Whilst Ray's doing that, let's walk through his DC2. DC2 or DC4?
DC4.
I don't know the difference. It's got the whole USDM racks going on. Oh, it's got a sound system. Seats are faded. Like I said, these cars been sitting around for 10 years plus. So, very cool car. Check out his motor. B20 VTEC. B16 head or B18 head?
16.
B16 head.
B16 with type R cams.
Does it have a loud crossover?
It's pretty decent.
Alright, cool. We'll listen to this one later. Alright, and then didn't make it far because the baby fell asleep halfway through.
She's falling asleep.
Alright. So, we currently don't have new spark plugs. So, we're just cleaning these ones up and hopefully it runs a little bit nicer. It's part of this oil change. So, just wiping it down, making sure we remove any of the black stuff from the spark plug, and hopefully it runs a little bit nicer, and eventually we will get new plugs.
See how that look, because they look really dark.
Yeah, they're black as. Probably because the oil was black as.
Yeah, that's true.
Have a look at that. Can you see it? What really bad lighting.
Chuck this in.
Right, starting it up, seeing how everything went. Still pretty rough. Still pretty rough. So the idea is, what we're going to do is, because it's still running really rough, we think it's probably really bad fuel. So we're going to trick the fuel pump to pretend that it's on, and then drain it from there. That's, I think, it's the easiest way. And then what I'll do is I'll just take off one of these hoses. I'm not too sure which one, but we'll find out which hose that we have to take apart, and we'll do that. Alright, just for reference, I've never done this in my life, so we're going to see if this actually works. So let me wire up a dummy hose to drain it from there, and then hopefully it works. I saw this once and that was somewhere on the internet, so if it's on the internet it means it works.
Oh, it stopped there. Huh?
Yeah, it stopped. Alright, so it works, and I don't know how many times you'd have to prime a car. Otherwise we could just trick it. How about we just trick it?
Just turn it on?
Nah, you wouldn't be able to turn it on because the car's not running. But we could trick it by just getting the pump to trigger the trigger. Or do we just add ground to it? Actually, I'm not actually too sure.
This will work.
Yeah, alright, we'll just keep on doing this. Why make it complicated, right? So, and also we unplugged the injectors so they don't get flooded. So I don't know if that's a thing, but just for peace of mind. So this is how much we've drained so far. And this is a 5-litre bottle. So whether or not the battery works from doing this and priming it consistently, I'm not too sure, but yeah. So battery died. That's the first time I've actually changed the battery. But I also need to buy more batteries because ever since I started filming in 4K, the battery life has gone crap. So, like I said, magnet. Forgot the magnet. I'm not gonna lie, this is the second bottle right now, and I'm a little bit dizzy. And I'm outside. There you go. So what we're doing, Ray managed to go out and buy some. Ray managed to go out and get some spark plugs and some brake cleaner, so we're doing that. We just pretty much just spark plugs are in, everything's good. We'll probably start it. Yeah, we'll probably start it. And I'll just get all this coolant into the car, and then we'll just let it bleed itself.
Just in case, I guess.
Yeah.
It's come out. Oops.
Alright, that's that. New fuel. new coolant, new spark plugs, new oil. Alright, let's see how it goes. Let me see if we can get more burps into this system. So this car sounds way better now, but there is an exhaust leak, so we're waiting for that. Waiting to, it'll probably come from the header somewhere, so that's something that we're gonna have to test next time around. And we're just waiting for the fan to turn on so we can confirm that this car doesn't also have a thermostat problem. So waiting on that. Mr. Ray here is cleaning up his car. So a couple of oil leaks that we found, so we're just going to track it, trying to track where those are coming from. Alright, so we have confirmed everything works, cooling system works, everything's good, air is gone out. The only thing we need to do is bleed the clutch and we should be hunky-dory with this car, and everything else is just relatively cosmetic. So car starts, car drives, and then just that's it. And Ray's DC2 has a couple of leaks that he has to fix. Same with my car, has a couple of leaks there he has to fix. But all in all, this is probably just related to an O-ring issue on the power steering pump. That's what's causing all this mess here. But all in all, normal things like probably rock cover gasket and some. Just missed out on all that of me and Ray diagnosing problems with his car. All that's been fixed. So like I said, tell Ray, let me know when he has any other issues, and happy to go through them. But like I said, ticking off boxes today. But like I said, unfortunately we were too occupied and we did not record any of that success, but all good, all sorted now. So that's it for today, and it's baby duties. Ray for a quick squirt, nothing too crazy, sensible, but like I said, it's his first time in my car. Probably one of the first outside passengers. I'm the best driver, I'm just warning you.
You're not?
No.
That's alright. So your gearbox?
Yeah, that's my clutch.
Oh yeah, it's good. This cluster only works in the newer ones.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think that's why I got the JD ones. It doesn't fit into this OBD2. That's crazy.
Too much wheel spin.
Yeah.
I have way too much wheel spin on this car.
The revs are crazy.
Yeah, but lucky.
Like a bang.
But it's lucky I have a 5-speed.
Yeah.
Because if I had a 6-speed, it'd run out way more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so full boost, I just get a lot of wheel spin.
Yeah.